In the quiet corridors of Sri Dharmasthala Manjunatheshwara College, Soujanya, a bright second-year pre-university student, once walked with dreams in her eyes, until that fateful day, October 9, 2012, when she vanished into thin air after leaving her college in Ujire, near the sacred town of Dharmasthala. The next morning, the air grew heavy with dread, as her lifeless body was discovered in a dense jungle near the Netravati River, just steps from the serene Sri Dharmasthala Manjunatheshwara Yoga and Nature Cure Hospital. There she lay, her hands cruelly bound to a tree with her own shawl, her clothes shredded, her undergarments gone, a scene of horror etched into the earth. The autopsy peeled back the layers of brutality. She had been raped and strangled, her body bearing bite marks and mud forced into her private parts, a testament to an act so savage it shook the soul of coastal Karnataka. This pilgrimage haven, drawing lakhs daily, was suddenly a stage for a nightmare no one could ignore. Why are we revisiting the Soujanya case now, and what makes it so critical in light of the ex-sanitation workers' shocking revelations? The recent allegations from this former employee of the Dharmasthala temple administration, detailing mass murders and secret burials spanning 1995 to 2014, have thrust this unresolved tragedy back into the spotlight. Filed with the Dharmasthala police on July 4, 2025, just days ago, these claims suggest a decades-long cover-up that might connect to Soujanya's brutal murder in 2012. Exposing a pattern of systemic failure and influence that demands our attention. As investigations into burial sites begin and public outrage swells, Dharmasthala stands at a defining moment. Will it face its hidden truths, or will the weight of power continue to bury them? For Soujanya's family, the ex-worker, and the countless others seeking closure, the importance of this moment cannot be overstated. Let's begin with the Soujanya murder case, a tragedy that unfolded with her disappearance, sparking immediate outrage given Dharmasthala's status as a pilgrimage center. Soujanya's family, led by her parents Kusumavati and Chandappa Gowda, filed a missing persons complaint at the Heggade police station, 12 kilometers away, since Dharmasthala lacked its own station then. The public outcry eventually compelled the state government to establish a police outpost, but the damage to trust was already done. The investigation into Soujanya's murder quickly unraveled into a series of systemic failures, starting with what experts call the golden hour of evidence collection. Circle Inspector Bhaskar Rai admitted in court that he failed to secure crucial CCTV footage from a location near the main road and a clinic run by the Dharmasthala temple management. Footage that could have been a lifeline for the case. Mobile tower data was gathered, but never passed to later investigators, leaving a trail of missed opportunities. The autopsy, conducted by a doctor whose mishandling of the vaginal swab undermined the prosecution, was described by the court as virtually demolishing the case from the start. Within days, Santhosh Rao, a hotel worker from Karkala, was apprehended by locals under the Dharmasthala Manjunatheshwara Temple Trust, beaten and handed to police. Charged with rape and murder based on his confession, recovered clothes, and injury marks, Rao's case collapsed when the CBI court acquitted him on June 16, 2023, noting his bus ticket placed him in Dharmasthala after the murder. The case shifted from local police to the CID in 2013, then to the CBI amid public pressure, yet the investigation was labeled botched up, with no disciplinary action against officials like Rai, who was even promoted to Deputy Superintendent of Police. This lack of accountability fueled Soujanya's family's belief that Rao was a scapegoat, with the real culprits, possibly tied to influential figures like the Heggade family, protected from scrutiny. Now, let's turn to the ex-sanitation workers' allegations, a revelation that has opened a Pandora's box in July 2025. This man, employed by the Dharmasthala temple administration from 1995 to 2014, filed a chilling complaint with the Dharmasthala police, registered on July 4 under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, BNS, claiming he was coerced into disposing of numerous murder victims' bodies over nearly 2 decades. Living in hiding in a neighboring state, he alleges that between 1998 and 2014, he was forced to bury or burn bodies showing signs of sexual assault, strangulation, or other violence, victims ranging from young women and schoolgirls to homeless men and beggars. He claims to have witnessed some murders, describing them as carried out in a cruel manner, and says his supervisors threatened him with death when he resisted or suggested reporting to the police. In 1998, he was beaten for refusing, and a sexual harassment incident involving his family member drove him to flee Dharmasthala in 2014. To back his story, he revisited a burial site, exhumed skeletal remains, and submitted photographs, including a skull, along with his Aadhaar card and old employee ID. Driven by guilt, he offered to guide authorities to other sites if granted protection under the Witness Protection Act, 2018, hoping that proper last rites might bring peace to the victims' souls and ease his own burden. The Dakshina Kannada Superintendent of Police, Dr. R.N.K., has confirmed receipt of the complaint and pledged a thorough investigation, including seeking court permission to exhume alleged burial sites. This has cast a shadow of anxiety over Dharmasthala, a town unaccustomed to such dark accusations. The workers' claims have sparked speculation about a broader criminal network, possibly connected to the Soujanya case. Locals and activists have long whispered about the Heggade family's influence suppressing investigations, a theory supported by a Reddit post citing 460 unnatural deaths in Belthangadi Taluk between 2000 and 2012, including a twin murder just 20 days before Soujanya's death, none properly probed. The parallels are striking. The sanitation workers' accounts of bodies with signs of sexual assault mirror Soujanya's fate, and the failure to collect evidence in her case echoes the alleged cover-ups he describes. An AI-generated video in 2025, amassing 18 million views, accused the Heggade family of involvement in Soujanya's murder, leading to a police case against a YouTuber for hurting religious sentiments, though the Karnataka High Court stayed the FIR, upholding freedom of expression. This convergence of cases raises troubling questions about Dharmasthala's underbelly. The Soujanya investigation's lapses, neglected CCTV, tampered reports, and Rao's acquittal suggest a deliberate effort to protect powerful figures, a pattern the sanitation workers' allegations might confirm. Public protests, like the Dharmasthala Chalo march planned for March 2025, and the High Court's rejection of reinvestigation pleas in September 2024, highlight a community grappling with despair. The workers' willingness to testify, if protected, offers a glimmer of hope, but the stakes are high. Dharmasthala's reputation as a spiritual haven is at odds with these revelations, and the Heggade family's influence looms large. Across India, cases like the 2012 Delhi gang rape and the 2024 Kolkata doctor rape murder have shown how power can obscure justice, yet also how public pressure can force change. Here, the ex-workers' courage and Soujanya's family's persistence could be the catalyst if the system dares to listen. As investigations into the burial sites begin, the town stands at a crossroads. The sanitation workers' evidence, photographs, remains, his own testimony, could rewrite history, exposing a decades-long conspiracy. Soujanya's family continues to demand answers, their grief a constant reminder of justice delayed. The public's growing voice, amplified by online discussions and protests, pressures authorities to act. Yet, the road is fraught with challenges: ensuring the complainant's safety, verifying claims through forensics, and confronting influential figures. This is more than a local story. It's a mirror to India's struggle with violence against women and marginalized communities, where the National Crime Records Bureau reported 1,551 gang rape with murder cases nationwide from 2017 to 2022. Dharmasthala's truth could add to this toll, urging us to reflect on how power silences the vulnerable and what it takes to break that silence. Let's stand with those seeking justice, keep their stories alive, and push for a future where no truth is buried.